What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with our reigning Miss Olympia, Samson. Now the thing is, the competition at this upcoming Arnold, they would have already been scared because the reigning Miss Olympia is showing up there. But they would be even more scared because Samson just has gotten too serious too damn fast about training, because even after having a long season, he is already pushing so damn hard in the gym. So Samson, we all know, did a total of 4 shows this year. So the man placed runner-up behind Hadi Choopan in the first 2. And then first he won France Pro and then the Olympia. So this has been the most successful year for Samson Dauda in his entire career. I mean, the man won the Olympia, the biggest bodybuilding title in the world. But the thing is, becoming Miss Olympia, that comes with a whole lot of pressure, and he has to carry a lot of that in the first show of the season, the Arnold 2025, knowing that everyone is chasing him now. And the pressure is gonna be even more at the Olympia next year because he has to defend his title. Now that being said, I have to say Samson has got more courage than any other Miss Olympia, especially in the recent past, because nobody would take that risk of competing at the Arnold as the reigning Olympia champion. So when was the last time we saw something like this happen? That an Olympia champion, he did an Arnold as well. Now correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I think Ronnie Coleman, he did the Arnold Classic back in 2001 as the reigning Miss Olympia champion. And that is pretty much it. That is the list, if I'm not mistaken. So Samson Dauda for sure is setting a high standard for himself by doing it for the fans. Well, not just for the fans, for $500,000 in prize money as well. And Samson has proved to us all, and that too over and over again, that he can compete and still get better between shows. The Olympia package of Samson Dauda, that was just so damn insane. But he's looking to beat that look at his next show. So his back can always be better. And looking at some of the footage of his back and the way it looked, especially in the off-season, I have got to say the fans are really pumped. So it is gonna be very hard to beat him, especially in the upcoming years. And Samson is that type of physique, which can win the send-off for many years to come. Unless, of course, Andrew Jacked, he puts it all together. Then it is gonna be a different story. So it did not take Charles Griffin long to get back into the business. He is locked in for the next 5 months, determined to make it to the Olympia stage, fourth and the final time in his career. Maybe that is another Olympian who is gonna retire in 2025. But Charles Griffin wants to go out with a bang. He was among the top 10 Olympians from last year, and that was with a torn pack. And that was really something. And actually that was the biggest reason of him skipping this entire 2024 season, because he wanted to rebuild his chest to something like it was back in 2022, before the packed year. So Charles Griffin is a very complete bodybuilder, one of the craziest backs in the entire bodybuilding world right now. The only thing that he lacks, that is the width. He doesn't take up a lot of space on the stage, and that is why he has a hard time really standing out in the bigger shows, in deeper lineups like the Olympia and the Arnold. But the thing is, he makes up for that lack of width with his unreal conditioning. He is one of the most consistent guys when it comes to nailing his peak and bringing in an insane level of conditioning. So if Charles Griffin can qualify for the Olympia with a glaring weakness like having a packed year and also place top 10 in the world, you have got to agree there is something special about him. But can he place top 10 in the world again, especially next year? And that too with so many other guys coming back like Regan Grimes, Brad Wilkin, James Hollingshead, and so many of the other names like Justin Shire, Carlos Thomas Jr. I'm gonna say it will be challenging, but the man is ready to take on that challenge. Next up, we have the physique update of Ramon Dino. So the man can rebound like crazy after doing some of the shows, but he is always very conscious about his rebound. Otherwise, he can just pack on so much muscle and he can put on so much weight, and that too in such a little time. And that we all know can make that whole making the weight cutoff process extremely challenging. Now, I think we can all agree on one fact, that this was the worst year for Ramon Dino. And in a while, he lost the Arnold title against Vassy Wiesers, a show he wasn't supposed to lose. And then he dropped down to 4th at this year's Miss Olympia, a show that he was supposed to win and beat a guy like Chris Bumstead. Or at the very least, give Chris Bumstead a very serious run for his money, like he did at the Olympia last year. So Ramon Dino posted some throwback videos from this year's Olympia prep, where he looked insane. So what really happened during the Olympia weekend, during the peak week? Maybe a misjudgment, or the body just did not respond the way they wanted to. Nevertheless, Ramondino promises his fans that he's gonna fight tooth and nail and bring his very best next year. Because the thing is, all of these guys know, and even the fans know, that there won't be a better chance of becoming a Miss Olympia, of snatching that classic physique Olympia title. Because this time there will be no defending champion. So Ramon has to make this big decision of whether he is gonna stick to Chris Aceto as he has been for all these years, or is he gonna hire a new coach? If anything, he should get a proper posing coach and get all those posing insights firsthand, because he is suffering a lot because of his inability to present his physique to the best of his abilities. Even Ramon said that Ramondino has the wit, but he is failing to present that on the stage because of his posing. I have to say, kind of bad timing for Seth Feroce to make this comeback, since he was hoping that his all-time coach, Can Ramon, will help him get ready for next year. Now he isn't far off based on his today's morning update, but him and Can Ramon, they have brought some great looks back in the day, more than 10 years ago. So this will be a missing link in Seth Feroce's comeback now. So the question that everybody is asking, how he is gonna make that 212 weight when he is already so damn shredded and so ripped, and he is still 12 pounds above that 212 weight limit. Now the thing is, he can suck down, and eventually he can make that weight cut off, but not sure how that will look. Will he lose all that pop, that fullness to his muscles, and will that be his best look? Now, has Seth Feroce set up any expectations for this comeback? The thing is, the man has always been very competitive, so he is training to win. But we all know the comebacks, they are very rarely successful. That never happens. But that being said, this will definitely allow Seth Feroce to live in those moments and complete this prep with less pressure. Now the thing is, any IFB pro, they can look pretty damn impressive, standing all by themselves. But the competitions are just on who they stand next to on the stage. Now we all will be really thrilled if Seth Feroce does an open show next year and see how he looks with more muscle on his frame. Now he has months to go before there is gonna be a show on the IFBB calendar year. And judging by his recent look, the conditioning that he has right now, I have to say the man is gonna be peeled and absolutely ripped to the bone.
So did you think he could be Mr. Olympia?
Yes and no.
Not a good answer.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
So with Can Ramon saying goodbye to elite coaching scene, here is a great clip of him talking about those athletes who had the most success out of all the Olympia winners that Can Ramon has worked with over the years. And obviously that's your 7 times Miss Olympia, Phil Heath. And both Jay Cutler and Can Ramon, they have a consensus that Phil, during the beginning of his career, he wasn't that impressive.
Have much but arms and shoulders, really.
That's it.
Right? Not really a back. His legs weren't there really there.
No. He didn't have the width. He didn't have the density. He didn't train heavy, right?
Because, did he have the mindset, though?
He was coachable, yes, which was the foundation.
I want you to talk about that.
I mean, he did not have that type of physique that you would expect that he would dominate the sport for 7 years straight in the men's open class. So many people just forget that one of the biggest genetic weaknesses of Phil Heath, that was his narrow clavicles, that did not give him the width on the stage. But to be able to bear such huge and round delts and make up for that, that is nothing short of amazing. Because at the highest level of the sport, it is extremely hard to bring up a lagging body part, because it isn't like these guys are slacking in one area of their physique. Now for those of you guys who do not know, Phil and Can Ramon, they did take 1 year off, and they did not do the Olympia because Hani made the call that Phil Heath wasn't ready. But what a great Olympia debut Phil Heath had in 2008. Jay Cutler, who lost that title to Dexter Jackson that year, even he says that Phil Heath, who placed third in that show at his Olympia debut, he could have arguably won that Olympia. And that is how great Phil Heath was, even when he came onto the scene, even at his Olympia debut. Now it is so great that Phil at the age of 45 still looks so damn good. The fans in bodybuilding, they have a very short-term memory, but we are gonna keep reminding people, everyone, that Phil and Hani era, that was one of the most dominant eras in the entire sport of bodybuilding. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.